Welcome to Xi'an for the final game of the Olympic qualifying tournament where Puerto Rico is going up against China. Julia Montesano and Laurie Chiswick here with you. And Laurie, it would have been a night of celebration for both teams with their Olympic spots being confirmed last night, although I think it would have been a bit bittersweet for China.
Oh, I agree. Losing to France wasn't exactly in their plans, I don't think, and they will want to bounce from that lackluster performance. No question about that. They're normally so disciplined and clinical. The scoreline certainly wasn't what we were all expecting. However, Coach Jean Wei is a very experienced, smart coach, and I have no doubt will have this team ready to go today.
We just saw France beat New Zealand by 55 points, with France returning to a home Olympics in style and finishing the Olympic qualifying tournament on top of the table. 3 wins and no losses, China, Puerto Rico and New Zealand to follow. It's now time to welcome the teams onto the floor for one final time. Let's start with Puerto Rico. They had to fight hard for their Olympic spot against New Zealand last night, and I wonder how that sort of night will affect them today.
Well, I'll be really interested to see how they actually approach this game. They will be on such a high after securing their ticket to Paris with that enthralling 2-point win over New Zealand, as you said. They've achieved what they came here to do, so there's really no pressure on them in this game. But it is an opportunity for them to test themselves against the #2 ranked team in the world.
Absolutely right, as the last 2 players come out. Puerto Rico in the white today. And Coach Gerardo Batista just giving one last embrace with his coaches. Celebrated a big win last night. And here is that noise we've become so familiar to hearing as we turn our attention to China. It has been quite an interesting tournament for them. They bet New Zealand by 47 on Thursday. Then they lost to France by 32 last night. I wonder what they'll come out with today.
Well, you see, that's the great thing about tournament play. You don't have to wait very long to play your next game, and you can immediately address your deficiencies and get right back on track. The sign of a good team is that they can put aside those games such as that loss and just focus solely at the game at hand. And I think they are that sort of team. I think we are going to see a real focused, disciplined team that we didn't necessarily see last night.
It's not very often you see China have back-to-back losses in any tournament, in any game, so we're expecting them to fire on all cylinders tonight. They're 2 bigs entering the floor. They've been so reliable all tournament, and we're now gonna get ready as we continue the formalities here tonight. Coach Jean Wei has done a magnificent job with his team. Let's now pause to hear the national anthems of Puerto Rico and China.
女士们、先生们，请全体起立，奏波多黎各国歌。Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. 女士们、先生们，请保持肃立，奏唱中华人民共和国国歌。 seated，请坐。
Great to see the two teams coming together for one final time this tournament. It's been great sportsmanship shown throughout. The China team get in the middle for one last huddle and a thank you to their fans. And today's referees have just as big a job as the players. They've done a fantastic job all tournament. We've seen 6 riveting games here in Xi'an, and today's referees are Ariadna Chueca, Christian Pais, and Cecilia Tort. Chueca, of course, a Spanish official, while Pais and Tort are from Hungary, and there is 15 years of experience between these referees. We're going to get into the starting lineups very shortly for one last time this Olympic qualifying tournament, and we're going to start with the Chinese team. And we know they've had a really consistent starting lineup all tournament. I wonder what today will deliver. We're about to find out. It's going to be Wang, Li, Zhang, Huang, and Han, Laurie.
And that is the exact same lineup that they started the tournament with when they played against New Zealand. We know Li Meng has been really a consistent. She's averaged 17.5 points across the 2 games. Han Xiu was fairly quiet against France with only 4 points, so I would expect her to respond because she had 21 big points in the first game.
There's Coach Zhang Wei on the screen. She would not have been happy with their team's efforts last night, but she knows at the back of her mind that her team is at least on the plane to Paris already. Let's now look at the Puerto Rico lineup. See Benitez on the screen. We're expecting her to perhaps feature in the starters, but we're going to get confirmation of that very shortly. Girantes has had a fantastic 2 games leading into tonight. I wonder what she'll produce, but the starting 5 on your screen now is Rosado, Hollingshed, Girantes, Quinones, and Benitez Colori.
And they've stuck firm with that starting lineup in all 3 of these games. And last night, Girantes and Hollingshed played big minutes, 35 minutes each. Hollingshed 20 points, but as we talked about, and I love that bench player Gibson coming off and just being a real energizer, and came up with some great offensive rebounds that really helped her team get over the line in that crucial win.
Coach Geraldo Batista giving some last messages to his team. He's coached the team to a one win, one loss record so far this tournament. But more importantly, he has got his team on the plane to Paris. They, of course, raced the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo. They now go to back-to-back Olympic Games. They head to Paris, and they have to combat with this mighty China crowd first off as we count down to tip-off. We can, of course, hear them getting up and about. They've been getting behind their team all tournament.
Well, it's just so great that the support is here each and every game. And, you know, there just aren't many opportunities to play in front of your home fans on the world stage. So this team tonight are really going to want to put on a good showing and give the fans something to cheer about. And we know how passionate these fans are.
They've been passionate all throughout the tournament, and they'll continue to cheer loud and proud for their team. Let's hope they forgive them after last night. But we know that this China team don't take a loss lightly. They'll be coming out full of energy as they head out onto the floor to start this game. China versus Puerto Rico, our last game in this Olympic qualifying tournament here in Xi'an. These two teams are both qualified for the Olympics in Paris come July. But they have one last task to take care of here at Shanxi Provincial Gymnasium. Welcome to Xi'an in China for the final game of the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament, where China and Puerto Rico are going head-to-head. And it's going to be China with first possessions. It's in the capable hands of Han Xiu. She's triple teamed, so has to go to Wang. Han gets another chance, can't make it count, and this time gets the crowd on their feet.
It's good to see her continue with posting up there and second efforts. That's what they're going to need.
Big height differential between these two teams, so she's set to play a big part tonight. Girantes can't convert the first for Puerto Rico. Wang steps back. Girantes off and running. Arela coming off a fantastic performance last night. And Rosado gets the first shot to go for Puerto Rico.
Rosado, the smallest player on the court, was able to shoot over a long reaching hand.
Li Mong steps back on Benitez and gets her first points of the night.
And that's something she will do all night. Take advantage of any sort of mismatch that is out there.
Top scored for the team last night with 21 points. Is the top scorer in the Olympic tournament at the moment. 7.5 points per game. Benitez driving. Huang rebounding. Lee running to Zhang. Has to collect it. And then we'll head to the line.
Well, that is exactly the style of play that we know China can produce, and we didn't see a lot of it last night against France. And that's rebound and run. Push the ball up the floor. Kick ahead it was to Li Mong, who then looked inside for her teammate Zhang Ru.
Zhang didn't score last night. She'll be hoping to get off the mark with this second free throw. The crowd giving her a bit of a push. In fact, yet to score all tournament. Zhang Ru didn't score against New Zealand either. And still can't get off the mark. And we know those free throws played a big part in last night's game between New Zealand and Puerto Rico. Teams need to sharpen that up before Paris. Hollingshed shot the lights out last night. Wang. Han got fouled. The points.
Referees are saying that she got fouled before the shot. She wasn't.
I thought he had the count signal. The shot won't count. Still a 2-point lead for China. Huang, Han, beautiful.
Great job. That was such a good pass, high in the air to Han Shu, just into her hands. She's got great hands and was able to finish softly.
Girantes had to fight hard for that one. Pulls up, pulls short. And you can see Han Shu already up to the 4 points for the game. Wang wants a piece of it.
Well, you could see again in that last action, Han Shu, once she got that rebound, she just straight away got it into the hands of Wang Suyu, who pushed it up the floor, and looking at her options, finds herself at the free throw line.
Had the 3 points and 3 assists last night. Quiet night by her standards, but she's got on the board already. 6 points and 6 assists against New Zealand on Thursday. And she goes 2 from 2 at the line. Rosado asking for some movement from her team. Have had some open looks, just not able to knock as many down as they would like. Girantes putting the body on Wang, but it didn't work. And Wang steaming up the floor to Zhang. And again a foul's called.
I think Zhang Ru would be disappointed that she didn't finish that on the left-hand side. She just needed to go up a little bit more strongly. It was a great pass.
It's already China's 3rd trip to the free throw line early on in this game. And Rosado's 2nd foul.
Oh my goodness, I think all teams in this competition need to work on their free throws.
I know it's a bugbear of yours and of many people watching on, I'm sure. And you can see Rosado with the 2 fouls, but also Hollingshed already with the 2 fouls. So they've got to watch themselves here, Puerto Rico. Quinones, Rosado, 3 is short.
Good effort by Garantes just to get her hand in there and then knock it off a player in a red jersey.
A loopy pass to Quinones to try and get this started here for Puerto Rico. Rosado. Girantes. A nice finish, her first points of the game.
Really good pin down action. Garantes coming off of that, caught the ball, ripped it baseline, was a nice finish.
Wang now. Wang loves this range and drops it.
That never looked like missing from her hand. It was a nice finish, a nice follow through.
She's a fantastic three-point shooter, Wang Sijing. Found the bottom of the net on plenty of occasions this season. Girantes spinning on Huang now and goes back to back.
That's one of the things that Garantes loves to do, and that would be in the scout notes, that she likes to spin at the end of a drive.
Li Meng, tell you what, this should be in the scout notes too. That is funny!
Absolutely in the scout notes. Li Meng, three-point shooter. Actually, she can score from so many different ways. As I mentioned earlier, she can post up in mismatches or shoot from 3.
She could also steal. We saw a good steal on the other end as well. Defensively, I thought she's improved as the tournament's gone on. Quinones into Rosado. Girantes looked at it. Bard got in the way. Wang has Zhang up ahead and makes no mistake this time. A great start from the China team. It forces the timeout on the floor. China 16, leading Puerto Rico 6.
Great way to get the crowd involved into the game. A couple of fast break opportunities, a three-point shot from Li Meng.
A block from Han Shu, as we just saw as well, and then Zhang finishing it off on the other end. And a great find by Wang as well, always with the eyes up ahead. Here's Coach Batista. Here's the big three from Li Meng. Got the crowd up on their feet. A fan favorite here in Xi'an and around the world for that matter. She just knows how to hit them. Coach Zhang Wei happy with that one too. Li Meng up to 5 points for the game already, hasn't missed.
And you can see that China are in this extended pressure. They want to pick up full court. They want to, that's a good indication that they want to really make sure that they're active and playing good defense straight away. In a zone now.
Oh, and it's paid off. A good move out of the timeout.
And you'll often see that out of a timeout, a coach will change up the defense, and then maybe they'll say we'll do it for one time, maybe they'll say we'll do it until they score, but a good change up by China.
Let's see if they can capitalize offensively. The 3 by Li and the 2 by Zhang before the timeout means they're on a 5-0 run at the moment. Here is Li Meng. Instead drives on Quinones, offensive foul. seen that a few times from Li Meng this tournament, just charging into that defender.
Well, great read by Quinones, just to hold her ground there, knowing that she wanted to go left, stay on her left.
Referees will pick that up every time. Melendez on the floor for Puerto Rico. Shoves it into Girantes with the pass. Quinones. Sort of a bit of a nothing shot in the end, I think.
Well, I think it was I think it was the fact that she could see that Honshu was just waiting there to perhaps block it, so she didn't want to go too deep in there, but really not a great shot selection.
Huang wants Li Meng, finds Han. Now Li Meng spins and shoots. Hard score. Good to see Alison Gibson out there. A big night last night on the boards. A lot of offensive rebounds. Here she is now with the ball in hand. Here, Coach Batista saying, keep moving, keep moving.
And again, it was the right baseline move by Melendez, but Hongshu's just there to intimidate.
Oh, what a skate from Wong! Deserved the finish. Sorry, Laurie, that was great. Girantes, the M1. Really strong drive by Aurelia Girantes. One of the strongest players in this pool. You just know she's going to go hard every time she's got the ball in her hands.
Well, she is. She's she's not only a good scorer. We know that she can shoot the three, but she sees the floor really well. She's a good distributor. She's a good facilitator, and she can match anything physically.
7 points for her tonight already. Puerto Rico have 9 points as a team. Young Li Wei onto the floor. We know she didn't start in that opening game and didn't start again tonight. Coming off the bench with some impact. Huang, speaking of impact.
Nice little floater from Huang Xijing.
And we see Alana Smith enter the game. Trying to find a lane here. Trying her best to keep it back there. Trying to have too many singlets running back. Too many red jerseys. Han Shu!
She's shooting the ball with much more confidence tonight. She was up against some much taller timber in the French team, but she's looking good out there right now. Good positioning, good finish.
6 points tonight. She only had the 4 last night in total. Gibson was screaming for it. She gave it to Smith in the end.
Wow. Oh, I was going to say, if that went in, that was over the long stretch arms of Honshu.
Huang to Wang now. You see Li Yuru getting ready to come on the floor. We speak about the like for like when we speak about France coming off and on the bench, but China equally have some really good options with Li Yuru and Li Yuan both coming on.
I guess so. Li Yuru last night had 8 points, 8 rebounds. She's averaging 12 for the tournament, so she's been very, very effective. She started last night, came off the bench the first game, came off the bench this game, but has really had an impact wherever she's playing.
Nariman Vargas coming onto the floor for Puerto Rico as well. Didn't see her at all last night, so good to see her getting some minutes today alongside Sofia Roma. Girantes can't get it to go. And the speed of Li Yuan on display. Pulls up, knocks it down.
Little shake and bake there and a pull-up J. Looking good for Li Yuan.
Girantes trying to find Roma. Young Li Wei doesn't have much ahead of her. So she'll wait for the cavalry to float back. Li Yuru into Li Yuan. Huang. Li. Was patient from China but just couldn't be finished off. leading 22-9. A minute left in this term.
It's actually been pretty frenetic, going both ways. Certainly that's the intent of China, is to push the ball. You can just see whenever they get the rebound, they're looking to get it into their guards' hands and have the other players streaking down the sidelines.
Show of respect. They know what Puerto Rico can do when they get going. They're putting the clamps on them early. Girantes stepping back, a really nice look.
That was strong from Girantes.
You know, she got into foul trouble early on last night, so it impacted her ability a bit at the start, but then she just came alive, and she's doing so again here. 9 points already, 4 from 9 from the field. We're going to see some subs come onto the floor for Puerto Rico. Jones and Pagan in for their first minutes of the night. Rosado has led this Puerto Rican team brilliantly as captain. Bounce pass to Girantes. Oh, Lee Yuru!
I was just about to say great backdoor cut, but even a better block by Lee Yuru.
That was vicious. Young Li Wei now. Zhang Wu wanted to give Lee some reward offensively, but there was a foul call.
The pass just needed to be a little bit higher in the air, just away from the defender. You know, trust your bigs, but look at that cut, but look at that block.
Lee Yuru says, not here, not in front of my home fans. And she's at the line now for 2. And the crowd, of course, comes to a hush.
I know, I'm amazed with this many people in the arena. It's like being at tennis or golf where you have to be quiet when they're shooting the ball compared to when the opposition are shooting. It's nice and loud.
We're the only ones talking, it
I
feels
know.
like. Feels like we have to be quiet too. Li Wan. Oh, beautiful finding of space from Li Yuru. Couldn't quite beat the buzzer, but I think there's going to be 2 shots to come. Referees will just confirm that in the middle now. Lee's lining up. She thinks she's got it.
That's always a good sign. Pressure point. I was fouled.
Yep. Assert your dominance. I think the foul's been confirmed. It's just about how much is going to be left on the clock. So Lee Yuru at the line. Her second time at the free throw line. 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Last time they met Puerto Rico, actually, that was her stats. Of course, last night against France, the 8 points and the 8 rebounds. And a double-double first up, 16 points and 12 rebounds against New Zealand. So a really consistent tournament for her. And there's the difference in the noise.
That's right.
The second point for the night. And 0.2 seconds left on the clock once this, I was going to say drops, but she missed that one. But either way, a really good opening quarter from the Chinese team. A much better start than what they had last night against France. 24 points to 11 is their lead over this Puerto Rican team. This buzzing Puerto Rican team, who of course learned that last night they would qualify for Paris. And at the end of the first quarter, it is China 24, leading Puerto Rico 11. Let's take a listen to Zhang Wei before we get some stats.
对方球权，对方球员守的是20啊，但是暂时一守20，先暂时一啊，中途抢占，完了我们守20啊，完了任何时候变，那个完了如果他们配合下一次，如果打敌人的话，防敌人的话，他要是钻石后卫的话， 好的小孩胜。
That's a glimpse into Jung Wei-Siki, but here are the best plays of the first period. And China would certainly be happy with what they've dished out to start off tonight's game.
Well, I like the fact that the first play of the game, they went inside to Han Xiu. You know, that's something that they didn't do enough of the other day, so it was good for her confidence, for the team's confidence. They've got such a height advantage out there that they need to work and execute their plays and take advantage of that. But Girantes, she's putting on a bit of a show right now, a bit of a clinic, using all her weaponry in there, posting up mismatches, spinning at the end of her moves, and she's the one light that's got to try and keep this team going.
And I think as well, I mean, we know that there are a lot smaller teams in China, so there's going to be a lot on the guards. But let's listen to Batista here.
If they switch, pass the ball in and pass back. If they switch, movement and action, pass and go back and then kick and then play. Pero no te metas mucho, porque si ella ataca, yo no quiero que la tuya. Yo lo que quiero es que te lleve que ella coja la bola y ataque mal. Vamos, let's go 5 on defense.
Just make sure you download the Courtside 1891 app to keep up to date with all the latest news and highlights, not just from here in Xi'an, but from all the Olympic qualifying tournaments around the world. As the spots to Paris tighten up. Mentioned Girantes Laurie on screen. She's been a real positive spark, not just tonight, but for this whole tournament. Carried this team on her back and made sure that they got their ticket to Paris.
Well, she's got 9 out of the 11 points so far. Hollingshed's been quiet. We know she lit it up last night.
No points for Hollinghed, just the 1 rebound. As we tip off the second period, China leading by 13 points. Jones, this would be a nice early look, and she drains it.
China were in a zone. They were doing lots of talking, but just didn't protect that baseline shot of Jones, and she was able to find the bottom of the net.
Jones joined on court by Rosado, Vargas, Hollinghed, and Girantes. Li Yuru. Li Yuan has a look. Might get it back here. She does. It was good hustle. Importance of following through on your shot. Hard into the game. Can she make an instant impact? That's a fantastic drive with authority.
She was calling for that ball on the wing. When it got into her hand, straight away she drove it in.
Can Jones go back to back now? Hollinghed hasn't scored this game,
there we
and
go.
there it is.
That's what we wanted. That's what we asked for. That's what she did in the previous games, and they're going to need her to do that if they want to keep this game close.
I mean, it was only a matter of time before Maya Hollinghed inserted herself into the game. 20 points and 14 rebounds against New Zealand last night. Li Yuru trying to go back at her at the other end, gets her own rebound, and will head to the line once again.
That was a nice downhill penetration by Li Yuru. She was quick on that. Haven't seen a lot of that, her putting it to the deck from that foul line area, but that was impressive.
And it means she's at the free throw line once again. The Puerto Rican defense are really struggling to defend her right now. Smaller lineup means fouls might come against the two, or more than 2 tall players out there for China.
Well, I feel like too the perimeter players, the guards, they just need to get it up in the air. There's such a height advantage. Just get it up in the air. Let them go find that ball, search out that ball, and catch it. Both Li Yuru and Han Xiu really have good hands.
And to Puerto Rico's credit, they're making Li Yuru earn her points tonight. 3 from 5 at the free throw line already. Hollinghed can't go back to back. So it allows Li Yuan to run. Young into Li Yuru. Gets around Quinones with ease.
Now that was an assertive move by Li Yuru. She just caught that ball with authority, spun around, and finished strongly.
Good rebound there by Zhang. She's been crashing the boards hard tonight. And here she is on transition, getting fouled. Jones didn't quite expect the pace coming at her.
Well, it's nice to see Zhang Ru running, getting rewarded, but that finish by Li Yuru was really nice.
And a round of applause as Li Meng comes back onto the floor. 5 points, 2 from 3 from the field. Zhang Ru puts the first one down. What a luxury it is having someone like Li Meng coming off the bench to provide that spark in the second period. Girantes now, speaking of spark. Up to 9 points for the game. Rosado. Searching, finding Jones. She pulls up. She's been great from three-point range tonight.
Well, she came off of that, debated whether to pass it or kick it on. Decided to shoot it and paid dividends.
6 points tonight, just the 3 last night for Brianna Jones. Li Meng! The 4-point play!
What a great use of the flare screen. Li Meng, she caught that in rhythm. It had a really quick release here. And then just the follow through. Brianna Jones, first of all, looked at the shot that went in and then looked at the referee for making that call.
She can't quite get the 4 points, but Li Yuru, oh my goodness, it's showtime here in Xi'an.
This is what this capacity crowd came to see, their team play the way they know they can play.
I don't know how Li Yuru got that shot up. It was sort of an over-the-head reverse. All sorts of fun under the rim. Here she is at the line. Converting the three-point play. Hollingshead's third foul. Rosado steps into it. And Lee. It's Lee Wan. She thinks about a 3 of her own. Then gives it to Pan for a go. Jones. Rosado. Hollingshead. Some good passing by Puerto Rico. Jones lets it go. Brianna Jones!
She is shooting that ball with such confidence. Just a nice quick bailout pass by Rosado to Jones, and she was ready to shoot that.
3 from 3 from three-point range for Brianna Jones, and it's forced a China timeout. They still lead 37 points to 23, but what a nice look this was for Brianna Jones.
That's the thing, when you've just made a 3 and you're now given the chance to shoot another one on a little flip pass behind, she was ready to take it and took advantage of it.
Here's Coach Zhang Wei.
打了5下，打了5下，完了传完球配合，我们的配合速度有点慢，要配合，完了把那个掩护做好，有一定要利用，如果没有，完了就会演，完了你站到那边去，站我们站那边，快一点，不是，还有可以，怎么？
What a stat on screen. 4 from 6 from three-point range this quarter for Puerto Rico. China have hit 1 triple and has beat off the hand of Li Meng. Here's Brianna Jones's 3 looks. First from the corner. That was nice. And then she went up a bit higher. Steps back on Li Wan. Bang, another one. Thank you very much.
Well, that means the scoreline this quarter is China 13, Puerto Rico 12. So that's a really good stat for Puerto Rico. And see if they can maintain this.
Good to see Jones staying out there. And see if they continue to run some plays for her, Laurie. I know you love when a person's feeling hot to get it in their hands.
Well, keep going till the well until the well dries up, and a player can be confident. And so if you can set up another play and they're wide open, then they've got the green light to shoot that.
So young Li Wei coming on after that timeout. But for now, it's Li Yuan to bring it down the floor. Li Yuru, the captain, getting in the action for China.
You can see a zone by Puerto Rico.
Li Yuru fouled on the rebound.
Well, she was just using her height there, her outstretched arm. She was just sort of bouncing the ball off her hand.
I think that means it's Holished's 4th foul as well. And it means Puerto Rico are over the limit too, so it's not a good moment here for Puerto Rico after a really positive start this second period.
Wow,
6 minutes left. So.
That happened quickly, going to the bonus in less than 4 minutes. And more importantly, Hollingshed now having to sit on the bench with 4 fouls.
I wonder what that could mean for this game. She was so pivotal last night against New Zealand.
Maybe it means more opportunity for Brianna Jones to, get the ball in her hands, shoot the 3.
Lee pops it in. So Rosado with ball in hand. The question on everyone's lips, where's Brianna Jones? Here she is. This time passes it back to Rosado. Quinones, can she get involved? It's been a bit quiet to start, and again, a really awkward shot from her. Li Yuan, Li Yuru. That just trickles out. Joe's got to be careful. She turns it over.
I think she was actually off to the races before she actually got control of the ball, unfortunately for Jones.
Huang Ti Li. Young Li Wei for 3.
A captain's bucket. Defense went behind the screen. No problem pulling up young Li Wei.
Girantes. Gone a bit quiet in this second period, but that's because Brianna Jones has just taken over. Let's see what Rosado's got. Quinones. Oh, and can't put in both those shots.
Those are the shots they can't afford to miss because they're not going to get any more open than that.
Huang, some good movement. Zhang now. Loved her start to this game. Young Li Wei for back-to-back triples. Not to be this time. Huang fouled Girantes. She's not quite sure about it. The crowd obviously giving some feedback. Nevertheless, it's 41-23. Yeah, she just tapped her arm.
It's so great to hear this crowd.
You just have to sit back and enjoy it. Puerto Rico, though, I'm sure they wouldn't be enjoying it as much. But Girantes can get some award for going really hard at the basket there. Both players feeling it. I think Zhang got a bit of a cut to the lip as well. Nevertheless, Girantes at the line.
Lana Smith into the game, and Melendez is waiting on the bench to come in for the shooter if Girantes makes these shots.
Oh, and the crowd's affected the first one. Play for Benetta Famiglia Schio in Italy at the moment. Isabella Girantes is able to convert the second. And there is that sub, Melendez. And also Wang for China replacing Li. Change in point guards for both China and Puerto Rico. Wang has to get after this one. Wang back there to help. Lee, Young. Oh, nice cut by Lee Yuru.
They do a great job on any dribble handoffs of using their body once they pass that ball off as a screen. And then what a block there. Going nowhere, Alana Smith.
Gotta be smarter than that against Lee Yuru. Here she is on offense against the shorter Melendez. Gets double teamed. That was good by Puerto Rico. Shot clock in single figures. Zhang approaches the basket, then gets a rebound, then finds Wang, who finds Huang. Lee backing down. Jones off to the races. Only has Wang up ahead of her, and an effective the shot. It was great defense by Wang Siyu.
But hasn't Brianna Jones just embraced her time on the court right now?
Absolutely right. 9 points, 3 from 3-point range. But just like that, some impact for China coming onto the floor. Li Meng and Han Xu. Coach Zhang Wei sensing a bit of a moment here in the last 3.5 minutes of the opening half. Roma also onto the floor for Puerto Rico. They've got to go. There's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Smith. Good rebound by Roma. No one saw it coming. Huang up ahead. Couldn't get past Melendez. Good D. Jones with the hot hand into Roma. Quinones has a look. She was fouled with 2 shots to come.
Well, that really let them off the hook because that wasn't the best shot to take, and now she goes to the line for 3 shots.
You can see there Wang just with the heavy approach. So a chance for Isalis Quinones to get on the board. She's yet to score tonight. She's had the 4 rebounds. They need her impacting offensively if they're any chance of winning this game from this margin down. Quinones, of course, coming off 10 points and 6 rebounds against New Zealand last night.
We haven't seen much of Benitez so far in this game, just around 4 minutes, and she had 13 points last night against New Zealand, so hopefully nothing's wrong with her. Just the coach trying to utilize different players, give some bench players some minutes, valuable minutes.
You see her on the bench. You might see it in your screens at home, but she's got her t-shirt on. The rest of the players all their singlets on, so perhaps she's on pretty limited minutes, or maybe her night's done already. Who knows? Like you said, hope it's not anything too serious if it is indeed an injury. We saw in the last game, France didn't use Monine Futux at all. New Zealand didn't use Tedar Reid, McKenna Dale in a moon boot. So all 4 teams trying out some new rotations on the last day here in Xi'an. Wang misses the first one. Crowd giving her some words of encouragement as she knocks down the second one. Smith now. With some voice out there. I think China have gone 50% from the free throw line. They've had 20 attempts already tonight. Good D by Luo. Wang. Han, a rare 3 attempt. Oh, she knocks it down!
That brought the crowd to their feet.
Some can't say a rare 3 attempt. She does like to launch it from that range, but it's always good when she knocks them down. Gibson now, super impressed with her defensive work last night. And look at her running in for the rebound there again, as Melendez was fouled.
One thing you know, if I'm watching really closely on China's defense, they're there, but they don't put a whole lot of pressure. So Puerto Rico are still able to move the ball fairly freely. I'd like to see them just get up a bit more in the lanes, have their hands a little bit more active, because that's the sort of things they need to work on moving forward towards Paris.
Affecting the Puerto Rican players at the line. We saw Girantes miss one, and Melendez also go 1 from 2.
Well, over the course of the 2 games, they're 68% from the free throw line.
Not the best stat. Smith spinning on Hahn, but she was never going to get over the top of her.
Yeah, not a good decision, but that's a good decision.
And luckily for Smith, a foul amongst all that. So I think it'll be Pagan that's going to take the 2 shots here. Yep, Huang just reaching over. And chance for India Pagan to get some confidence into her game. The 2 rebounds against China on Thursday. And then just the 2 minutes against New Zealand last night. That was her first point of the tournament. And gets her second as well. And Girantes is going to come on for one last burst in the opening half. 1:33 left. China have brought back in Pan Junchi. And lost in Yu's task with bringing the ball down. Li Mong open, steps around Girantes and knocks it down!
That's always so great when a player, the defender goes flying, and instead of driving it in, they just step across, make sure they're at that 3-point line, and nail it.
Super clever move by Li Mong. Become a signature of her game. Melendez over the backs to Smith. Can't bake it in. Girantes has a nice offensive rebound amongst all the taller players out there. Hahn this time makes no mistake. Wang up ahead, Lee up ahead of her. Oh, that was a bit of heavy contact between Lee and Melendez. Melendez is down holding that eye. And Lee just down there to comfort her. That's great sportsmanship. They're never the hits you want to take. Appreciation from the crowd that she's up on her feet. That could have been a lot worse. So just waiting to confirm the subs. I think Melendez is keen to come and get that eye cleaned up. And now Rosado will come on to replace Smith and Quinones on to replace Melendez. Li Mong at the line. She's just come off a big 3. Li Mong sitting on 11 points for the game. I think another 2 shots to come. I think someone might have stepped over the line. And she makes no mistake with that extra opportunity. Twelve points for Li Mong. She's gone 4 from 5 from the field tonight. Very impressive clip.
She's been really consistent across the course of this tournament, as you would expect from one of their superstars.
Another one could put a hand up for MVP, and amongst Gabby Williams and Marie Johannes of France are probably the picks. Although Girantes is putting her name up in lights, just hopping on that ankle. Looks like she's going to walk it off.
"24 seconds left on the shot clock. Game clock. China should just work it around for one last shot.
Li Meng hits the deck again. And I think she's going to head to the line with Puerto Rico over the limit. So, yep, 2 shots confirmed. Quinones was the one who infringed there.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Just put the body on Lee. First one's good. Li Meng won the MVP and was named in the All-Star 5 and the Olympic qualified tournament back in 2020. Maybe is on track for repeating that here in her hometown of China. Gibson comes off for a seat with Jones coming back on. Zhang Ru also back in for China. And now a chance at Puerto Rico to end the quarter on a high. 10 seconds left. Girantes wants to pull the trigger.
Smart play by Girantes. She got her defender in the air, Zhang Ru, then came back, then stepped through and was fouled.
She's so agile, Aurelia Girantes. If it's not one way, it's the other, or it's the other way again. Zhang Ru, the one getting in her way this time.
A lot of subs called before since 24 seconds was left on the clock.
Both teams looking frequently to their bench. And now Vargas will replace Girantes. A solid opening half from Aurelia Girantes. 14 points and 3 rebounds. China now for the last shot. Li Meng is in the right hands, but she didn't let it go in time. But it doesn't matter. China have started this game off the better team, and they take a 20-point lead into halftime on the back of 15 points from Li Meng, 12 from Li Yuru, and after 2 periods, it's China 54, leading Puerto Rico 34.
I've actually been impressed with Puerto Rico. You know, that was such a big game last night. They would have really felt it physically. Mentally, they would be drained. And to come out, and they're putting in a good showing out there. And you can see by the numbers, you know, they're still 3-point shots, 36%. They've kept care of the ball, both teams, relatively well. And yes, they're getting out rebounded, but you would expect that with their size. But I think they're putting up a really good fight.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I think they could be down by a lot more in the rebound column, that's for sure, with the high differential. And in that quarter, China only outscored them 30 points to 23. So they kept with them, and different players stepped up at different times. We saw Brianna Jones start off the quarter really well with those 3-point attempts, and then Girantes started to take over. So they have a lot of contributors out there.
Well, and you have to think that Hollingshed has been sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, and we know she's one of their top scorers in the team, so they've had to do it without her, and I'm not sure when we'll see her back on the court, but they've done a good job of trying to spread that scoring around a little bit. But China certainly they're looking at different options themselves. Inside, outside, we can see Leah Ru there, just a really strong move, and she's been really influential, and she needs to continue so. Same when Honshu is on the floor. They need to get them into those bigs, take advantage of their height.
Exactly right. Lee Mog's been doing a lot of great work for China. She's leading the way with 15 points, and she's just continued to improve as each game has gone on this tournament.
Well, we know that she is a superstar, and as you said, not only in China but worldwide, and so we expect those things from her, and she has been consistent this tournament, which is what you want from your big players, and she's been ably supported by her players around her.
Absolutely right. Lee Yuru, the other one in double figures, 12 points and 7 rebounds. She's verging on that double-double once again. Young Li Wei's also had some nice moments as a captain. Han Shu also getting there, 9 points and 6 rebounds. And that was a nice look from the top of the three-point line. You know, she's got those sort of shots in her. And the crowd have had a lot to cheer about in this opening half.
Well, they have. They're appreciative of what the team is bringing today, and that's what you want. You want to put on a show for your home fans. They've supported them so well throughout this tournament. And what I've been impressed with, Julia, they've supported the other teams as well.
Exactly right. Well, it's halftime here in Xi'an, and it is China 54 leading Puerto Rico 34.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Gets a pizza, puts it up, gets the three to go. Hungary with a 53-48 lead at the end of three.
Anderson starting in. Juan Anderson with Serbia on her back. Puts it in. And now getting 10-2 with the credit. That's a couple of jab steps now attacking. Rejected by Magmagor. She swallowed that basketball.
And Li Yuan just goes for the circus pass to young Li Wei, and what a start for China on the timeout. Look at her go, Johannes! Oh my God!
She had that ball in her hand for that whole possession.
Oh, what a block by Carlson!
Oh,
At the buzzer, she just rejects Lauda Hill. Beck banks it in! And the points to come!
Well, that's, if you call that a well-executed play, pass it in, a high on-ball screen. Beck took her time, showed her poise as the clock was ticking down.
Well on top, look at this pass from Alamon. Make the easy play.
Great behind the back. No doubt that will be a highlight. Top 10 play. Michelle Goury. Johannes all behind the back for Nate. Can she finish it off? Wow!
You saw a nice little acknowledging, recognizing that she made that extra pass, Johanna.
Get it to Plum. She gets free. She puts it up. And oh! Are they going to count it? Has she made it? They're going to review it. They will go and review this. If they have won on that play, that will be a stunner from Brianna Stewart. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
一个白色，一个绿色，他们呢就是来自中国农业银行的两位可爱的吉祥物。中国农业银行耕耘美丽中国，共创。
Welcome back to Xi'an, where it's China leading Puerto Rico by 20 points. And a big reason why is this player on screen, Li Meng. She is China's top scorer with 15 points, 4 from 5 from free throw range, and 4 from 5 from the field. Most importantly though, Laurie, 3 from 3 from three-point range.
Well, we know that she certainly can and will shoot that three-point player. And she would have to be really their go-to player. You know, she uses her strength, she uses her size, her athleticism, she exploits mismatches as we talked about. Nice catching and rhythm, that three. But she moves so dynamically, Li Meng. She's versatile, she can get it done in different ways as we mentioned. She can put it on the floor, you know, she's got good handles out there, but I love that. Her defender goes by her and she just steps back and makes sure she's using that three-point line. Smart play. But she is their go-to player. She's their most consistent player. And she will need to continue so, and she will need to make sure that come Olympics time, she's doing the same thing.
Absolutely. And Puerto Rico's top scorer is Aurelia Girante. She's the only Puerto Rican player in double figures. We've seen her time and time again just put this team on her back, not just in this tournament, but really in every game she plays for her national team.
Well, in a way, she's sort of like Li Meng in that she's strong, she can get to the basket, she loves to shoot the three, and she loves to play with physicality, as does Li Meng. So she likes to post up, she likes to use her strength as well. We mentioned she has a spin move at the end, which she uses really well. We can see it here, just driving in, step back. So she's one too that, again, moving forward, when you think of the Olympics, she's going to have to continue with this team, especially in today's game when Hollingshed is sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, who really is her partner in crime on the court, but not so much today.
So halftime in Xi'an, China. Heading into the second half, it's China 54 leading Puerto Rico 34. There is the Chinese team on the screen. A lot of noise in the stadium, the crowd plus the music now as well. They would have liked what they did better in the first half compared to what they did last night. They are their game leaders. Li with 15 points, as we mentioned, Wang with 4 assists, and Li Yunwu, that is, with the 7 rebounds. And you want to see a bit more for the bigs, Laurie. I mean, and the guards combined, I mean, they've got such a height advantage. What can they do to sort of capitalize on it?
Well, I think the guards, I think the bigs are making position, and the guards need to have trust that they're going to do the right thing and catch the ball, get the ball high in the air, let the bigs gather it in, and then finish strongly. I think they could give them more looks inside myself, just taking advantage of the height. But you know, and the other thing that happens, that if they do get it inside and the defense collapses, then that's a great opportunity to stick it out, to pass it out to some of your really good shooters in Li Meng, Wu Sung-yu, Li Yuan when they're on the court, because we know that they can hit that three-point shot. And then the other thing for me, when we look at Puerto Rico, I think they've been allowed to move the ball probably more freely than they would expect against China. And I think they've done a good job with their ball and player movement and getting it through hands and reading what the defense gives them. And that's why I would like to see China just be a little bit more proactive in their defense. Just put a little bit more pressure and see if they can up the ante, because we know that China, if they can get any deflections or steals, they're going to go and run and look to exploit fast break opportunities.
And there is Girantes, as we mentioned, averaging 9 points for the tournament. Only 19% from 2-point range, but we know she's more deadly than that. But you know what, if I'm Coach Batista, I'm quite happy with what my team's put up in the first half. There's not much really to adjust. They've been fighting pretty hard, and 20 points doesn't really speak about how well they've played.
Well, again, I'm impressed, as I was, you know, with New Zealand when they have nothing to lose right now. Puerto Rico, they've got their ticket to Paris. They've got what they came here for. You know, like I said, they would have used a lot of emotion and energy to get over the line last night. So, you know, for them to show up today and put in a good effort like they have been, that's impressive, and that's what you want at this level. Every team, every game, going out hard.
Absolutely, you can say the same for China. They're right in there, they're being aggressive, and it's led by Lee Bog. She shows aggression in every single game she plays. She's still out there on the floor getting some last shots up, but now China going to head into their huddle and talk some things through.
Well, I think it was really important that China came out and made a statement, not only for themselves as a team, but for these fans. The fans would have been sorely disappointed yesterday, and they've come out in massive numbers. But let's see what these final instructions are from Zhong Wei.
Chinese flag proudly in the crowd. Puerto Rico getting some last words from Coach Batista as well. 20 points the margin. We've got one more half. I can't believe there's only one more half left in this Olympic qualifying tournament. I'm going to miss it.
Well, it's been a great event. Xi'an has put on a wonderful display. The fans have supported it. The players have done a great job. All the officials, all the volunteers that are involved. There's a massive amount of people behind the scenes to put a tournament like this together. And it's such a big tournament because there's so much on the line when you talk about qualifying for the next Olympics, which is in Paris.
Absolutely, and what a week to do it in the Lunar New Year celebration. It's been fantastic, so thank you to everyone at Xi'an. And of course, if you want to keep up to date with all the action, you can download the Courtside app, scan the QR code on your screen to keep up to date with all the streams, schedules and scores from all the Olympic qualifying tournaments around the world, not just here in Xi'an. There's still a bit to go. Of course, it's the last game of the day for us, but there's still plenty to go on in Hungary and in Belgium and in Brazil. The action doesn't stop. And we're tipping off the second half here at Shanxi Provincial Gymnasium. It's China leading by 20 over Puerto Rico. Wang Sujing's going to start off things. Into Wang. He's going to let up an early three and knock it down.
What a great screen that Hung Siu set for her. She raced to that spot. Defense got caught behind and just left it wide open for Wang Suyu.
Melendez, Rosado, Girantes, Quinones, and Benitez. It's good to see Benitez back out. We didn't see her much in that
was
second period.
interesting.
That's the sort of impact she can make. I know she missed it, but that's a good move. A good look-ahead pass to Zhang. Thank you to Lee Bong.
Two great baskets to start off this half, and smiles from both players.
Always great to see smiles. Always great. It's good when teams are having fun out there. Rosado. Quinones. Ooh, a deep three from Isalis Quinones. Didn't quite knock it down. Han, mismatch. Heading to the line.
See, such simple basketball. Just pushed it down the floor, Wang Suyu pushed it down the floor. Han Xiu just ran down, got position right under the point of the rim or at the edge of the dunker spot, passed it in, turned around, shot it, finds herself at the foul line.
If you're Puerto Rico, are you happy you keep sending them to the line? Are you happy to make them earn their shots?
Well, I mean, it's tough when they've got such a height advantage. If you try and front them or push them out, then they're going to lob it over your head. So I think you've just got to try and do as best you can. You know, try doubling or tripling, but that basket was in a transition stage, so it would be really hard to try and set that double screen or double them.
Girantes now for Puerto Rico. Zhang with the rebound to Wang. Quite quiet out there on the court. Wang into Han. There you go again, that move. This time she misses. Wang with the rebound though, can rescue it. What a start it's been to this third period for China. It forces an early timeout for Puerto Rico.
Well, I think the clear message was, as we talked about, let's get it inside. Let's try and have a presence inside. Let's use it to our advantage. Because the first few times down the floor, that's exactly what they did. And now Coach Batista wants to talk about that.
So a 9-0 run from China to start this third period. First it was Wang with an early look at three. And then Li Mong with a look-ahead pass to Zhang, who was happy to collect it and convert the basket. And there was the smile that we saw from Li Mong. A bit for Coach Batista to talk about there, I'm sure. How do they combat the size and the might of this Chinese team?
You can see China's in a zone now, out of that timeout, mixing it up.
Quirones saw hard and thought better not. And gave it to Melendez who thought better, yes.
Great move by Melendez. Off the ball on a ball movement, off of post speed, caught that in rhythm.
Li Mong, can she go 4 from 4? Not quite. Rosado pushing the pace. Quirones thought about the big three. Benitez, she loves a three. Quirones hits the deck. That was a foul on Li Mong.
It's her second foul, Li Mong.
Saw the offensive foul earlier on in the game from her. And now Zhang committing a foul. This is good for Puerto Rico if they can get to the line and try and edge close to this score. Although they haven't been good for the line this tournament. See what they've got here. Benitez, she's known for this. Can't drop it. Wang, only white jerseys ahead of her. And she turns it over. Good speed there from Puerto Rico to transition on defense. You know how fast Wang is. Loves to push the pace at the other end. Props a sub. Young Li Wei into the game. Zhang Guru's going to take a seat. 63 plays 37. Both teams already on the plane to Paris. Li Mong. Han up against the taller Quirones. Can't make the basket. I thought that was good there by Quirones. Girantes can't take full advantage.
little back and forth for both teams for no reward at the moment.
I was just going to say the same thing. Han Shu, Li Mong, well, she can change things. Their go-to player, as you mentioned, Laurie, so is Huang Su-jing. That's what she's capable of.
We knew that sooner or later somebody was going to nail that three-point shot. Huang Su-jing, really good off-the-ball movement to catch it at the top of the key.
You know, well, we talk about China needing to utilize their bigs, and we talk about Li and Han, but we can't forget the power of Huang Su-jing. She's had a fantastic tournament, and continuing it again tonight with 10 points.
That was great defense by Yang Li Wei. Garantes was moving as we know she can, but this finish, no. As I say, she was moving really well, stayed with her, but was able to find a basket.
Melendez fouled on the rebound. But here was the look from Huang Su-jing. Knocked it down from a very hard spot. Her second three of the game, hasn't missed. Jones, Puerto Rico put their three-point shooter back on the floor. To the chance of the crowd. Quinones, deep three attempt. She's gone for a few of those. None of them have come off. I think it's probably time to stop.
They've all fallen short, so maybe that's just a little bit of fatigue playing in.
Li Yuru, a very good collect and a very good finish.
Exactly, got it up in the air. Left it up to Li Yuru to collect it, and that she did.
Girantes trying to burrow past Yang Li Wei. It didn't work.
Again, great defense by Yang Li Wei. She's doing a good job of keeping Garantes in front of her and just keeping that little bit of distance, causing her a bit of headaches.
Certainly been a good switch-in matchup for China. China just started to get momentum back on their side. We know Puerto Rico had a bit better of them in the second quarter. But China 14-3, outscoring them here in the third. Quinones this time elects to put the ball on the floor. Rosado though comes off a foot. China ball.
China seem a little more intent on defensively getting up and in a little bit more and just making Puerto Rico feel a little bit uncomfortable. They haven't been able to move the ball as quickly, and when they do, there's somebody right there and in front of them.
So it looks like we're going to go to a challenge here. The coach challenge by Puerto Rico confirmed. Our first of the tournament. Let's listen into the refs.
Challenge. Out of bounds situation.
能知道现在想看最后谁使球出界。
Okay, we go. The baseline camera,
刚才那个
please.
机位，刚才那个机位，第一个机位，对，慢一点，慢一点，慢一点。
So we go.
慢
White, red. Can we check this slower, please?
再慢一点，刚才的机位再慢一点。
Can you put this again? No, that, okay.
Okay, frame by frame.
This is like white. Last touch is red. Okay, play me one more time from the other angle, please. This, slow motion. Okay, so it's like white. We go. No, it's not touch. Go back in this one. Go back in this one, please. Yeah, in this one. There is like, we don't know if this touch or no in the last. I cannot see it's touch.
你好，刚才的机位麻烦再来一遍。对。Change direction or not? For me, change direction. The last touch, the ball is red. Ball
there is like white. white, 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 white. Touch it, change direction. So last one was red. So we go white ball, and we go 14. No, touch the ball, touch the basket. Can you show me the review from the main camera, just the shot, the action shooting, please? The action shooting, the main camera, the action shooting. Did it touch the ring? Did it touch the ring? Yes. So we have white ball, white ball. Okay.
Time.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So we go 14. You got it. So after review, we just reverse the call. 14.
So a good coach's challenge there by Coach Gerardo Batista. It reverses the call. It's now a Puerto Rico ball, last off Huang Sijing's foot.
You're only allowed one coach's challenge per game. Even if it was right, you don't get to get it back. So that's the challenge for Coach Batista. Gave him a chance to talk to their players. Both coaches had them on the sideline going through instructions. It's like an extra timeout, really.
So a fresh 14 here for Puerto Rico. Let's see if they can use it to full effect and pay back Coach Batista. But instead it gets blocked. Lee Mong, oh my goodness, from the impossible angle.
What a finish by Lee Mong at full speed.
She made that shot look easy. That is so hard to pull off. And you can say that for every one of Lee Mong's shots. She just makes things look easy out there. So some subs for Puerto Rico. Alana Smith injected back into the game, as is Nanimar Vargas. India Pagan also going to enter the game in place of Quinones. So a new look for the time being for Puerto Rico. Li Wan back onto the floor to run the point for China. Young Li Wei to Huang. Back to the captain. Li Yuru. Li Wan. The pass was sort of in the air.
Yeah, no, I like the look of that, and you know, it made the defenders come over and help, and it's still their ball. 3.3 seconds on the shot clock, so now they really are going to have to get it in the air just to catch and shoot.
They put hard on for this. Lee, a loopy pass, has to drop it, And there's a foul called in amongst the rebounds.
Pagan just was pushing Li Yuru a little bit under the basket there on that offensive rebound. So China maintained the ball on the baseline.
Li Mong again trying to get under her defender and then drops it again!
Exact same move. Get her defender in the air and then sidestep for that three.
That is Li Mong's signature. 17 points, 3 from 4 from three-point range. Jones' shot won't count. Foul was called. But how about Li Mong? Correction, she's up to 20 points. Having herself a game. Han Junchi. Li Yuru reverses it in.
So that's what we were talking about at halftime. Let's have a bit more of an inside presence. Bigs work hard and their guards find a way to get them the ball. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
The great thing is they're continuing to position themselves well, both Han and Lee, but so is Yang Li Wei.
Well, that's just such a great decision. The defenders were on the lane runners, and as she progressed the ball, nobody picked her up, and she was just able to pull up for a nice jump shot.
It opens up a 40-point buffer for China. Li Yuan. Eyes ahead. Li Meng underneath 2 defenders and gets the M1 to go. Li Meng is on fire.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody like a Li Meng, once she gets that feel, once she gets going, she wants the ball in her hands and she's going to create something and make it happen. And don't the fans love it?
I love the chants around the arena. Not 1, but 2 defenders Li Meng had to contend with. And she's at the free throw line. Her 23rd point of the game. It's a tournament high for her. She has just been fantastic for China. But hey, isn't it great to see young Xu Yu on the floor? Fan favorite here in Xi'an, the sister of young Li Wei. And replacing her as well, a bit of sister rivalry perhaps. Nice shot there by Vargas. Breaks a solid run of scoring from China there.
Really nice look ahead by Li Meng to see her streaming teammate down there in the young Xu Yu.
Li Yuru to Khan to Young. Listen to the crowd every time she gets it. Pan sets herself. Can't drop it. Gibson. We loved her rebounding last night. Hasn't quite been her day today. But she's still showing up. She's still hustling. She's finding an option here in offense.
Alana Smith is somebody else that's done a good job on the court, given her opportunities with Rosado sitting. And there we go, on cue, a nice little pull-up jump shot.
Very good work by Alana Smith. I have to agree. She's been fantastic in Rosado's absence. Rosado, the 37-year-old. Li Meng. Li Yuru, strong hands in the rebound. Li Yuan, this is a deep triple from the car park.
Little nod of her head.
Like, yeah, girl, I know that was dropping. Love the three-point shooting from China in this game. And they've been able to capitalize off the crowd noise as well. 10 from 19, a very impressive clip.
Well, yes, they're shooting it at 53% right now. So, and the roar of the crowd for Li Meng as she steps off the court.
So Gibson at the free throw line. She's yet to score this game. Hasn't attempted a two-pointer or a three-pointer. And she's able to knock down the second.
I don't believe young Xu Yu has scored a point yet this tournament, has she?
I think you'll hear it if you do.
Oh, well, that's what I want to prepare for, because I hope she does.
Oh, yes! Young Xu Yu, fan favorite, gets on the board for the first time here in Xi'an. We know her started here. She's a big social media fan favorite, playing for Guangdong here in China. She's an ambassador for Prada as well, if you don't mind you. Li Yuru wants a piece of it, and she gets it.
Wow, their shooting form has continued to impress this game. It's one thing to be wide open, but you do have to nail those shots, and they've done a great job.
Li Yuru up to 16 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double for the second time this tournament. Of course, spends her time with Besiktas in Turkey and the Chicago Sky in the WNBA over in the USA. Bounce pass to Li Yuan. Under a minute left now. Luo on the floor. Young, can she go back to back? Not quite. Vargas just completed it. To Smith, to Vargas. A nice drive. Well, she deserved to finish.
Well, it was a good drive. She recognized she had better foot speed.
Here she is again on defense. To the play last night, Nariman Vargas, so she's feeling refreshed. Pagard couldn't quite reach high enough for that basket. And there's 5 seconds left. The crowd rise in anticipation. Li Yuan can't quite beat the buzzer. But a great third period from the Chinese team. They outscored Puerto Rico 33 points to 8. Puerto Rico just weren't able to continue on for a really positive second period. And at the end of the third quarter, it's China 87, leading Puerto Rico 42.
Well, I think Puerto Rico found it difficult to score on the back of China stepping up defensively. I just felt they put a bit more pressure on, and I'm sure Puerto Rico at this stage is feeling fairly fatigued from their game last night, but certainly China have taken advantage of that, and what great shooting percentage, 56%, 53 from the three-point line. We just won't look at the free throw percentage, all right, Julia?
No, we're not doing that.
But other than that, the Chinese team are shooting the ball at such a wonderful clip.
It's the best they've shot all tournament. And it's paid dividends. Here are the third quarter best plays. You'll see a lot of great open looks and a lot of conversions. And you know, it was Li Meng leading the way, but we now have 4 players in double figures for China.
Well, I thought initially that their game plan was to go inside, whether that was through dribble penetration or pass penetration, and they seemed to focus on that. But then the focus seemed to go on some great three-point shooting, so really were able to mix it up. But we can see there, that basket by Li Meng at full speed was sensational. And then that little sidestep three that we saw in the first half as well. Gotta love what she's doing out there.
And the crowd loving it as well. We've seen those clapsticks in full force throughout the tournament. And it's not, I like this approach from China. I mean, the plan's always for them. Everybody knows it. They always go to their bigs, but it's great to see them look to their three-point shooters. They're shooting it wonderfully. Why not keep feeding them?
Well, I think they want to keep mixing it up, and that's a sign of a good team where you can have that combination of inside and out. You become so hard to defend there. If they get it inside and they block it back out, then you know, it's hard to defend. And Hollingshed was on our, so she sat for two and a half quarters. We'll see how she goes in this last quarter of the tournament.
Oh, it's sad, but 87 to 42, China leading the way. I want to finish off this tournament on a high note, celebrate, log into their night with their fans. Hollingshed on the 4 fouls, put up the shot. Li Yuan and Li Yuru share it around. Yang Shuyu stepping back on Girantes. The crowd's riling her up, telling her to go for it. And she does. And Luo's there to pick up the pieces.
I think they really wanted her to shoot a 3.
Yeah. Not that 2 stuff. We want a 3. And now they come to a hush as Rosado brings the ball down the floor. Benitez again starting. But again, if the trend continues, we're likely not to see her for the rest of the term when she comes off. Li Yuan using her pace to get around Pamela Rosado.
Just a nice little hesitation and change of pace. Put on the jets. Got Brown Rosado and was able to finish strongly.
Such a quick first step from Li Yuan. Great hesitation. Girantes always carries the ball under her arm and goes hard. And they have another chance here, Puerto Rico, through Rosado. Lee up against the taller Quiroles, got the rebound. And then Hollingshed off and running on the other end. Gets herself a bucket.
Well, she has sat for a while, so she should have the legs, and she did. She passed all the defenders and went straight to the basket.
4 fouls for Hollingshed. 3 points for the game. 91 plays 44.
It's great to see all the players have hit the court. You know, everybody puts in the same amount of time at training, and so for players that get less minutes, this is just such an ideal opportunity. They're playing in front of a great crowd, whether you're from Puerto Rico or China. It's always good to play in front of an appreciative crowd.
Certainly right. And they'll be hoping to celebrate a win and a trip to Paris. Yang Xiaoyu! We've been calling for it, the crowd's been calling for it, and she's delivered.
A great decision. Her defender went under that pick and roll, and so she just very calmly read the defense and stopped and propped.
Girantes responds immediately.
I think Girantes is going, okay, I've got a rookie on me. I'm going to make sure I take advantage of this and try and see how she can defend me.
Han Junqi, Luo Xinyu, Pan. Oh, what a spin! Couldn't get the finish. Li Yuru, speaking of spinning, still couldn't get the finish. But man, I like what these bigs are doing. Let's see how Rosado can respond for Puerto Rico. You can hear the calls of patience, patience from Coach Batista. And it pays off. Girantes heading to the line.
Well, Girantes has a high IQ, so she recognizes when that you can see her almost initiating that contact so she can control the contact.
So Aurelia Girantes at the free throw line. That's her 17th point for the game. She's the only Puerto Rico player in double figures. She's gone 6 from 17 from the field, 3 rebounds, and knocks down both of those free throws.
And that's really about what she's averaging for the other 2 games, 18 points. So I think she'll end up with a little bit more in this game by the time it ends.
Yep, averaging 9 points across the first 2 games.
They're really utilizing that flare screen well. The defenders are tending to go under it, so they're quite happy to stop and shoot that 3.
So they should be. It's been dropping beautifully for China. Rosado, Hollingshed. She gets fouled. So a chance for China to get over the 100-point mark as well. Haven't seen that this tournament.
I'm sure I'm sure the fans would love that as well.
Oh, nice step back from Girantes off one leg. She's looked good in this last couple of minutes, Aurelia Girantes. But tell you what, so is the Chinese team. And Yang Shuyu's had some nice moments, although she'll want to take that one back.
Well, Puerto Rico in that case, they were just throwing something a little bit different. They were sort of trying to double team and force the Chinese team to make some decisions in what they were passing. And really, almost what you'd say, junking it up a little bit on defense.
Girantes up against Young. 20-piece for Aurelia. Now 22. She has turned it on this 4th period.
Well, that was definitely a little bit of razzle-dazzle from Girantes.
Good sides here for Puerto Rico. They've outscored China 10 points to 7, although Lee can change things. Basket won't count. Offensive foul again. So that's back-to-back.
You can see that exact same thing. There were 3 people sort of hunting the ball down at the center line and forcing into just a little bit of a chaotic situation for China and making them have to think about things.
The crowd trying to get them out of trouble. It's been an 8-0 run from Puerto Rico, and all 8 of those points have been scored by Aurelia Girantes. So China over the limit. Puerto Rico are going to get some shots, and this has been a really positive start to the 4th quarter for them.
Well, it certainly has. There's no question they are playing this game out.
Could have easily thrown in the towel, could have sat some players early on, but instead, you know, they showed a sign of intent. They brought Hollyshed on. They could have just let her sit for the whole game and not worry about it, but they brought her on. They want to keep it going. They're still rotating. Girante's still out there, Benitez still out there, Quinones, all their big names still playing a part. And there they are, pressing hard. Law finds a bit of space though. Lee finds a rebound. We'll share it around. Oh, beautiful cut from Pan.
Really good slipping of the screen. The defenders weren't ready for that at all.
Rosado to Benitez. Here's Girantes. 22 points. Oh, beautiful! And the foul to come.
Well, you can't speak highly enough of Girantes and the move she's making on the floor right now. She's really looking to handle that ball, and you can see the outstretched arms and her eyes on the target.
She has had a fine tournament. Aurelia Girantes converts the three-point play. Like we said, she averages 9 points, but tonight she's up to 24. Law. Lee. Liuru. Just has to be stagnant for a bit. Oh, then steps back. Rosado with the rebound. Girantes off and running. Steps back herself. Why not?
Why not is exactly right, but great running! Woo! Sinew sprinted the floor, caught that in full stretch, was able to finish and goes to the line.
What excellent pace from Law. The crowd definitely showing their appreciation, and of course Lee was the one to find her. She has been rapid with her passes this tournament. Her 9th assist for the game to go with 7 points. And now Luo can get her 5th if she's good enough to convert from the free throw line.
Well, one more point to go, Julia.
They edge closer. Jones back on for Puerto Rico. That's a good move from Coach Batista. Bring on your three-point shooter. See what she's got left. Pulls up for a lob two instead. And drops it.
Well, there's some really positive things happening for Puerto Rico in this last quarter. They're still going at it hard. They're looking at the shots. A lot of one-on-one action. But, you know, if that's the way they're getting it done, then so be it.
So Brianna Jones becomes the second player to head into double figures for Puerto Rico. 11 points. Young. Can she bring up the ton? Lee-Wan. Can she give up another dime? Instead goes herself. Good rebound. Whoa. Lee, again offensive rebound. Goes herself with some space. And there it is. 100 points for China.
It's sort of a good thing that Liuru, she was working so hard getting rebounds for others, that she was the one that made that basket to finish it off to the 100.
Quinones responds on the other end. Liuru rockets up to 20 points and 21 rebounds, Laurie.
Wow.
That's the highest rebound tally for this tournament by far. Girantes stepping around, getting fouled.
Well, with Lee Mong sitting on the bench at 23 points, Girantes is at now 25 points and leads the game in all scoring.
And Puerto Rico now going to clear their bench. So Roma, Vargas, Smith, all heading on. Hollingshed's going to take a seat. Girantes remaining out there. Gibson waiting to get her off the floor. Good 3 minutes, a good chance here in 3 minutes for those bench players to hustle. Confirmation of that double-double from Lee Yuru.
What
20
a great
points, 21 rebounds.
What a great game from Girantes as she steps off the court. Great tournament for her, and I'm sure we'll see lots of her when we see the Puerto Rican team at Paris.
A tournament high, 27 points for Aurelia Girantes. That's amongst all players, mind you. 27 points in a losing team. A very impressive effort.
As is China scoring 101 points, I might add.
Absolutely. Haven't seen that yet for this tournament.
Four players in double figures. Everybody hitting the score sheet. And they'll need that game. They'll want to wipe off, well, learn from the game against France moving forward. And, you know, I was thinking about it after the game before coming to today's game, and, you know, it's not such a bad thing. It's sort of a reality check, and they can take lots of things out of that game and learn from it, how we have to change, what we have to do to beat somebody like France, whether it's defensively, whether it's offensively. So, you know, you look at those things and you go, at least they qualified, nothing happened, nothing changed there, and then today they put on a great performance.
That old thing in sport, you don't want to be too good leading into such a big moment, such a big tournament. It's like a team going on an unbeaten regular season and then wanting to lose one before finals to get the monkey off the back. Same thing here. But Lee Yuru is doing just that. She is on fire. Gets herself past 20 points now. To go with, of course, those 21 boards. Tournament highs all over the floor from both teams. Points for Girantes, rebounds for Lee.
In that instance, Vargas really needed to just pass it out. You don't have a chance against the taller Lee Yuru.
Here she is again, up against the smaller Roma. Another rebound. This time kicks it out to Pun. China ball. Minute 46 left. We know China already on that plane to Paris. So too is Puerto Rico. There's a lot at stake around the world in the other tournaments, of course. Australia were the most recent team to qualify in Brazil. Germany and Serbia still fighting for the last spot there. And how about that one in Hungary, Laurie?
Oh my goodness, that is still everything up for grabs. That'll start in a few hours' time, but Canada, Hungary, Japan, and Spain, all with one win, one loss, going into the last day of the tournament. How exciting is that?
Oh, it's exactly what you want as a fan, as a broadcaster, I don't know about a player, maybe, but definitely from the cheap seats here, we love to see that. And the timeout is called in the fourth period by Puerto Rico. A minute 36 left. It's been a really fantastic quarter by them. They've outscored China 23 points to 16, and they could hold their head high when they head home, most likely tomorrow.
Well, this is the most they've scored out of any game this tournament. Right now, and they're on 65 points, so they'll be pretty happy about that.
A bit of a wave going around the stadium. You can hear the noise behind us. You can see the game leaders for Puerto Rico. Girantes with 27 points, Rosado with 4 assists, and Quinones with 4 rebounds. But it really has been the Aurelia Girantes show. It's going to be pretty hard to pick a TCL player of the game. You think Lee Yuru gets it with China winning, but Girantes has put in a great performance as well.
Well, I'm just glad we don't have to pick it, because it's great to see some standout performances. But I have to say, Lee Yuan, she's been facilitating so many of Lee Yuru's passes out there and catches that I'd be giving a lot of credit to her as well.
It's the second time she's hit more than 10 assists. She had 11 against New Zealand on Thursday, and now the 10 tonight, plus the 7 points. You'd love her to get double figures as well, a nice little double-double to finish off her tournament. As we head into the last 90 seconds, not just of this game, but the Olympic qualifying tournament here in China. It's been a fantastic one. Alana Smith gets the roll. She's been real positive for Puerto Rico, not just tonight, but the whole tournament. Here's Lee. Can she hit that triple? Another rebound for Lee Yuru. Triple teamed. Jump ball. Good hustle there for Puerto Rico.
Well, that's really all they can do when she gets that ball inside. They can double, they can triple, they can make it hard for her to score, make it hard for her to try and pass out to her perimeter players, and that's exactly what happened in that instance.
So Pang Junchi to inbound. Li Yuan. Yang Shuyu. So 103 playing 67. 50 seconds left. Puerto Rico second foul of the quarter. Li Yuan. Young puts it on the deck, and then Roma hits the deck. Oh, sorry, Vargas hits the deck. Jones hits the deck. These players are fighting right until the end on both teams. As we head into the last 43 seconds.
Another jump ball was called, so it's the possession arrows now with Puerto Rico.
See if they can get a couple more baskets to finish off their night. Didn't quite go their way, but a really good finish to this game. 25 points to 16 in this fourth period so far. Whoa. To Lee. And they can run the shot clock down here and try to make use of their last seconds here on the floor in front of their home fans, and that's exactly what Lee does.
That was a great call. That flare screen's been working for them all night when they flare, and that time they used the screen and curled around straight to the basket.
11th dime for Lee Yuan. Smith makes it in for one last shot. The crowd counts them down. China happy to just bounce it out. And Lee Meng puts her hands up in celebration, because China celebrate their 10th Olympics berth in style. They get the win over Puerto Rico on their home floor to go 2-1 in the tournament. Lee Meng thanking the referees and celebrating what was a big night, not only for herself, but for her team. Hugs all around.
Please take a break and look forward to it.
It's China who get to celebrate properly, because at the final score, it's China 105 defeating Puerto Rico 69.
Puerto Rico can absolutely hold their head high in this game. That game against New Zealand, which was so critical, do or die, and then come out today and put 69 points on the board and be competitive to a degree with China is a real credit to their coaching staff, their support staff, and all the players.
Absolutely, winning the fourth quarter, 27 points to 18. For China winning the game, thanking their fans, and they get their boarding pass finally. It was confirmed last night, of course, with Puerto Rico winning over New Zealand, but they couldn't really celebrate. A disappointing loss against France.
That's right.
They not only bounce back, but they get to bounce back, they get to celebrate in front of their amazing home crowd.
They all put the caps on, in front of their sign, in front of their boarding pass.
They are on their way to Paris. They will hope for their first medal in 40 years. It's hard to believe that it's been that long for such a successful team. They placed 5th in 2020. They'll be hoping to go a couple more places better come 2024. They've been to the summit 9 times, won silver in 1992 and then a bronze in 1994. But after their first Asian Cup win in 10 years, not that long ago, they won the Asian Games, came second in the World Cup. They are building, Laurie.
Well, they certainly are, and you know, it's exciting for all of them to be heading to the Olympics. Any of these teams that qualify, whether you've been to an Olympics before, whether you're brand new and never been to one, it is so exciting. And you can see the smiles on the faces putting the t-shirts on.
Hey, I like those. I don't think we've seen them on any other team. They're pretty cool. 2024 game on. And it certainly is after what they were able to produce tonight. The top scorers on your screen. Lee Mong with 23, Li Yuru with 22, plus 23 rebounds. Monstrous stat line from her. And signs of appreciation from the crowd. We might see a few of them travel to Paris, who knows? But no doubt there'll be China fans all over the world rejoicing what their team's been able to do. It's been a really successful path to qualify for them. Success in the Asian region, and then success in the world stage in the form of a silver medal. Can they go one better? Can they finally get the monkey off their back and get their first Olympic medal in 40 years come July? Certainly put them up there. Lee Mong celebrating.
Well, I think the loss of last night to France is now a distant memory.
And there's the signature courtesy from Hard and Lee. The crowd absolutely love it. Beautiful moment for them. And Lee Yuru, we're expecting her to be announced as the TCL Player of the Game. She was monstrous. 22 points and 23 rebounds. There's 3 players that will play a big part come the Olympics. Wang, Lee and Han. Han Xu with 11 points and 8 rebounds tonight. She played her part as she has all tournament. And that's a great view of the stadium and everything that's going on around us right now as we get ready to not only crown the player of the game, but to crown the tournament MVP as well. A few names in contention there, Laurie.
There's been some outstanding individual performance. All week we talk about, or the last few days, about the team performances, but there's no question there's been some outstanding individual performances, really from all the teams. But, you know, no doubt from Team China, you'd have to be looking at Lee Mong, Lee Yuru, you've got Williams, and Johannes, of course, from France. Garante's put in a great performance today with 27 points, so lots of great individual performances.
Here are the best players for the fourth quarter in our game, though, between China and Puerto Rico. Of course, China getting the job done by 36 points. But the fourth quarter belongs to Puerto Rico, Laurie. They stepped up and they outscored, I wouldn't say out-hustled and outplayed, but they definitely outscored the Chinese team and got the game slightly back on their terms.
Well, certainly Garante has played a big part in that, and we can see the way she's shooting the ball, the way she was controlling the game for her team. But wasn't that a great finish? The running sinew.
And we've spoken about Girantes a number of times. She's just been a real impact player in this game. With 27 points, 9 from 21 from the field, 3 rebounds as well. And high fives all around from the Chinese team at the end. Lee Mong was destructive with the 23 points, 7 from 10 from the field, 4 from 5 from 3-point range as well. 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Looking at the pictures here, it was China getting the job done, 105 to 69. 36-point win. They're on the plane to Paris.
And now to close this fantastic event, we want to celebrate the most valuable player of this tournament, the TESOL MVP. 在接下最后，我们来用天梭最有价值球员的奖项作为结尾。Presenting the award, Mr. Andreas Zeklik, the Secretary General of FIBA. 有请。